Hello and welcome to A Cupful with myself, Tshegetso Mwebi. Hello and welcome to this week's episode of A Cupful. Thank you for joining me in this warm and honest space of learning, growing, healing, and ultimately thriving. This week's episode is all about living authentically and staying true to who you are. My definition is being your genuine, unique self in how you dress, speak, eat, and those you surround yourself with. It is reflected in your actions and choices, in what you choose to indulge in and how. It is walking away from people and things that do not align with who you are and what you believe in. It is sticking to your values and not altering your way of living to fit in, as well as not concerning yourself with what people have to say about you and being yourself no matter how some people just will not accept you, which is completely okay. One thing that I know to be absolutely true is that no one was made to fit in. You are not everyone else and you do not have to be. I recently came across a video on TikTok and the young lady was pretty much saying you do not have to like matcha or to have an aesthetically pleasing Instagram feed. You do not have to live in or want to live in a high-rise building. That is completely okay. You do not have to want those things. And it's completely okay to be yourself, like who you really are, and to indulge in and enjoy the things that you really, really enjoy. If your true self wants the things I previously mentioned, though, then make those things happen and go for them. But if they aren't and you only want them because everyone else does, or it's the trendiest thing, then you should ask yourself, what's pushing me to pursue things that I'm not actually even interested in? Or why do I have these things and I'm not actually enjoying it? I'm not enjoying anything about them. Staying true to who you are means saying no to the things that would mean you have to become anyone other than yourself in order to be part of them or to enjoy them. I know I really enjoy a good caramel frappuccino from Starbucks or a dirty chai from Woody's Cafe, but I really don't like an espresso and I refuse to pretend like I do. Espressos are bitter. They really aren't for everyone and I'm one of those people. So I'm not going to have it under any circumstances, not whether other people are ordering it. I'm not a fan, so I'm just not going to indulge in that. Another example, I'm not a big fan of heels. So the only time I will wear them is to a formal event and I will have a pair of flats with me because there is absolutely no way I'm going to wear heels the whole night. My feet just won't survive. And I'm obviously there to enjoy the event. So I'm not going to do that to myself. That's torture I'm not going to put myself through ever again. I've done that at least 3 times before, and every single time I would convince myself that I can do this, but there's no way. I'm always going to make sure to have a pair of flats that I can change into. So for a fancy dinner, if there's a themed kind of party or event, then of course I'm going to respect the theme. Also, if my outfit would look better with heels, I will wear heels. But I time myself and I've accepted that I'm just not a big fan of them. So I will make sure that I keep a pair of flats. And just under normal circumstances, you're always going to find me in sneakers or any other suitable flat shoe. I'm not going to be wearing heels for no specific reason. I'm not going to be comfortable, so there's really no reason for me to do that. I also really enjoy playing around with makeup, but I'm not going to have it on all the time. And there's absolutely nothing wrong with being around people that wear makeup all the time, like in the workplace, for example. People might come into work with a full face every day, and you don't have to because that's not something that you want to do. You want to be comfortable, and it's important that you are comfortable. That's a form of staying true to yourself, not doing things because of other people are doing them, Also the same with partying. I really do enjoy a good night out. Groove is definitely nice. I love dancing to amapiano. I enjoy that vibe and how much fun it is. But it's not something that I want to do every single weekend. It's not something that I am comfortable doing every single weekend. I am multifaceted, and there are other things that I find interest in. There are many, many other recreational activities that I really, really enjoy. And I cannot pretend that I enjoy partying and popping bottles every single weekend just so that I'm likable or just so that I can fit in. There are definitely people that really enjoy that, and you're going to find them clubbing every weekend, and you're going to find them at some festival or at some kind of groove, but it's not my thing. So I'll decline an invitation if perhaps we've been out the previous weekend and then there's something else the next weekend. Also, I work in this environment when I'm working as an artist manager, and I have an artist on my roster. I would obviously have to attend events, so it's a completely different story with work. But if it's not work related, I'm not going to be partying every single weekend, so do the things that you enjoy doing and immerse yourself in them and explore them as far and wide as you possibly can. Don't be afraid to do that. Just because of what you like might not necessarily be what other people like, and also be expressive of the things that you like, and make your people aware that I'm declining this because this is not something that I'm interested in. This is what I want to do. This is what else I would like to indulge in, and be okay with that. Like, be comfortable with that. We aren't all gonna like the same things, and a big part of being ourselves and staying true to who we are is enjoying the different things that we enjoy without feeling like, oh my goodness, I'm not fitting in, or I just look different and people don't want to hang out with me. So like what you like, and again, fully immerse yourself in it, and don't catch yourself doing things that you don't enjoy doing just because you want to impress other people, or you want to come across as cool, or you want to come across as edgy. It takes away so much from you as a person. Stay true to who you are. Yeah, and I love wearing comfortable clothing. And I just feel like I'm not going to step outside of what I like and enjoy and what makes up who I am as Tsageto to be palatable or likable by other people. That is me actively taking something away from who I am. So don't take away from who you are. Don't want to be or want to do things that you ultimately don't actually enjoy. So I actually, on this very subject, wanted to briefly talk about something that I experienced just last year, and how it altered a lot of how I saw myself. And I ultimately figured out that this is not the place for me, and this is not what I want to be doing. So at some point last year, I surrounded myself with people that weren't really my people. And I don't know, I don't think that I really understood what I was getting myself into, but I do know that I did it consciously, right? I do know that I was also a bit naive, but I also do know that a lot of how I moved was influenced by how insecure I felt at the time and how much of a low self-esteem I had at the time. So I really do enjoy going out, like I said, but I'm not somebody that goes out every weekend. It's not something that I would enjoy doing every single weekend, even though at some point that is what was happening. But that was for work. And I will go out and be comfortable in whatever I'm wearing. I'm not going to hop onto a trend or to feel like I need to dress a specific kind of way to be acceptable. Now, these are under normal circumstances. But last year, I think that I was so desperate to be liked by a certain group of people and to be wanted and to be understood, because I really felt misunderstood. I felt misunderstood for a very long time, actually. That was not a recent thing. But anyways, I really wanted to feel understood, and that led me to making very poor decisions. And poor decisions I take full responsibility for. So I ended up in a situation where I was just acting out of character, I want to say. I wasn't myself. I was not comfortable with what I was doing. And it was so draining. So I'm never ever doing that again. It didn't last long either, because that is not who I am at all. I'm confident and love to do the things that enhance my confidence, like dress up, put makeup on, and really look good. But it stopped feeling like that at some point, and it started to feel like I'm working very hard. Like I'm getting dressed, I'm working and looking for people's approval, I'm working and looking to find ways where people will accept me more. So if that's in how I put my makeup on, then let's go. If that's in the hairstyle, if that's in the nails, if that's in what I'm wearing, then let's do it. And that's where I ended up. I was very miserable, and I was not acting the same person at all. So around these people, I'd be a different person. Like, fun, cool, quirky. And I think that I'm fun. I'm a fun person. But it was not me. I really hope that you are hearing me, or that you understand what I mean. People that know me, I feel like they'll understand what I'm talking about. My friends, my real friends, and my loved ones will know what I'm talking about. I'm a fun person. I really enjoy being the life of the party. It's really nice to have a good time. I'm always pro having a good time. But my good time looks different. Sometimes it's brunch, sometimes it's taking walks, going out for ice cream, spending time indoors, relaxing and binge watching series and movies. My good time is having different kinds of conversations about socioeconomic issues and well-being and current affairs and innovative ways of being innovative as a business owner, music, food, listening to music. And those are the things that are a good time for me, apart from partying. Exploring new spaces, definitely 100% my thing. That's my fun. That's my other kind of fun. And I'm relaxed and I'm happy, and it's a comfortable space. It's a safe space for me, especially when I'm enjoying it with myself, especially when I'm enjoying it with my loved ones. So those things stop being things that I enjoyed doing or things that I was indulging in. I was indulging in the things that those people were indulging in, and I was pretending to like those things. When you can feel that you're not okay, I could feel that, but what my main focus was to be liked by these people, to be liked by the popular people, to be understood by the popular people, to be popular myself, but at what cost, hey? That at what cost? At the cost of my well-being 100%. I was mentally drained. Emotionally, I was finished. I would walk through a door and switch up and be a different person. And even when I was upset, like if someone said something really mean to me, and those were mean people, I would not know how to address it. I wouldn't feel safe enough to address it, let me say that. And also I wouldn't want to address it, because what if I piss a person off? Like, what if I upset them? What if they isolate me after that? A lot was going on. I wish that I could put all of my thoughts on paper and properly articulate them. But a lot was going on. I felt very misplaced. I didn't feel like myself. I stopped staying true to myself at some point. It's like you switch off and you don't even know whether you're going forward or whether you're going backward when you are in these spaces that you have put yourself in, and when you are surrounded by these people that you are surrounding yourself with. I isolated myself, and I was isolating the people around me and the people that I love. And I was just constantly tired, so I couldn't actually even show up. I was not showing up. I really was not. These are hard pills to swallow, but you have to swallow them. Because if you don't, then you are going to end up evading taking responsibility and taking accountability. And that is detrimental to anyone's well-being and growth and genuine healing and genuinely moving forward. So obviously, a lot happened over time. It was the constant partying. It was constantly, just like not addressing things that I thought were wrong. It was even in the midst of being amongst those people, feeling alone, feeling isolated, but still working very hard to be accepted and to be seen by them. And this was caused by something that had been sitting with me for a long time. It was something that I had to go down to the root of, because it was being influenced, like I said, by being insecure, by feeling like I'm not being seen the way I want to be seen. I'm not being accepted the way I want to be accepted. So what ended up happening was I had a moment, like I had a very deep and serious moment, and I realized that this is not my reality. This is not what I want. I'm very unhappy. I'm very, very uncomfortable all the time. And I'm taking so much away from who I really, really am. So I need to figure this out. I need to figure out what I'm actually going to do here. And I need to figure it out as soon as possible, which is exactly what I did. And obviously I'm not surrounding myself with those people anymore, and I'm not surrounding myself with those kinds of people ever again, period. But what helped me a lot was going to the root and saying what is actually like causing me to behave like this. What is causing me to make these decisions? Why am I constantly feeling like complete shit, but I repeat the same habits, or I repeat the same patterns of behavior? What is going on? So yes, I was in an awful space. I really didn't know what I was. I really didn't know what I was. Yes. I'm going to say that with a lot more conviction. I didn't know what I was doing. And I had to make the necessary changes so that I could move forward, and so that I could put a stop to these patterns of behavior. In this situation, it was a lot more evident, like a lot more was evident. My insecurities were evident. They were showing, right? Before, they were not as evident. So I could sweep it under the carpet and say, no, I'm not insecure. I just feel this way. This is just like a feeling that I have. And of course, you can have a feeling about something, but sometimes it's triggered by you being insecure. That's what it is. So I eventually realized that I'm seeking validation from the wrong people for the wrong things in a wrong way. And I ended up taking a step back, and thank goodness I now have control over whether I want to or whether I don't want to rather be around those people or run into them. Okay, I can't control whether I run into them or not, but I am able to control how much access they have to me. This is not just for those specific people, but it is also for in my life in general. I get to control who has access to me and who doesn't. I get to control who I let into my life and who I don't. And the good people for me, the people that build into me, the people that hold me accountable, the people that want goodness for me are the people I'm going to surround myself with. No one can soothe my insecurities. No one can soothe any problems that I have. That is something that is up to me. And I'm so happy that I can take accountability and take responsibility for myself in that way. And you know what was also really interesting was that the people I was trying to impress were never impressed. They didn't actually care. Nothing I did was ever enough, and my spirit was drained, you know. I was performing all the time. I didn't have any boundaries, and I was trying really hard to be compatible with people that did not actually align with who I am. That's why it's very important to ask yourself, what is influencing the decision that I'm making? What is influencing these people that I'm choosing to have in my life? That's why it's important. Are they adding to me staying true to who I am? Are they adding to me becoming the best version of myself? Because whether we like it or not, the people we surround ourselves with influence us quite a lot. You cannot block that out. So you need to actively surround yourself with good influences and good people overall. Authentic living and staying true to who you are is not just limited to how much of yourself you show up as in every single space you go into also. It is also about who you are when it comes to your finances. This is a bit of a drag for myself. Do you live beyond your means so that you can have what everyone else has? I know that in many moments, I have made very poor financial decisions. And again, I'm happy I can take responsibility for that. Impulsive buying when I've committed to setting money aside for whatever I would have committed to setting money aside for. And just getting something because it's the trendiest thing to do or it's the trendiest thing to have. And I don't want to be left out. Of course, I've done that. So this was definitely 100% a bit of a drag for me. But you have to just ask yourself, is what I'm doing working for me? Is it working in my favor? Am I staying committed and true to myself? Do you buy things not because you like them, but because everyone else is buying them and you want to have them too? Are your spending habits aligning with some of the financial goals you have set for yourself? It's also in the hairstyles you choose and how frequently you get your hair done. Hear me out. Do you get your hair done all the time, not because you genuinely enjoy it or because you view it as one of your forms of physical self-care? Or is it because if your hair is not done, you are worried that you won't fit in or be accepted by certain people? I used to have natural hair, right? And I had not relaxed my hair for maybe 5 years until recently because I was just not coping with the maintenance of it. It was just far too much. And I remember at some point I was doing my hair and I was just looking to do different kinds of hairstyles all the time. Not necessarily because I wanted to, but it was because I was hiding my hair. I was hiding my natural hair because I was not really the most proud person of my natural hair. I don't think I even liked it that much. I'm just going to be very honest. And it's because of, I'm the one that had the problem, obviously. So I wanted to hide my hair, like I said. But it's also because I just thought that if I had my hair done, then I looked prettier and I looked neater and I looked more acceptable, if that makes any sense. The knotless braids, just getting my hair done. And of course I felt good, but I think it was a momentary thing. It wasn't a permanent thing. I didn't feel good all the time. I was just happy enough that you couldn't see my natural hair. And that's what wanting to impress people or wanting to conceal whatever insecurity you have ends up doing to you. You don't end up doing things because you want to or because of you enjoy them, but because of that insecurity, because of what people are saying about you. So please be careful not to go there. And if you are there, just investigate. Look into what is influencing you doing things that you don't actually enjoy doing or indulging in. The choices you make, are they influenced by what you want, or are they influenced by what other people want? Are you truly being authentic and living authentically and staying true to who you are? Do you actually like the things you indulge in, or do you like it because everyone else does? And I ask these questions with the intention for you to answer them as truthfully as possible, and to give yourself some time to take accountability if you need to, if you are falling short, on being who you truly are and showing up in that way. It's so important to hold ourselves accountable and to be honest with ourselves so that we don't repeat our patterns of behavior that are detrimental to our well-being. Also, you know how I always speak of going to the root of things. Holding yourself accountable gives you an opportunity to do that. Reflecting and approaching the things you have been avoiding helps you uproot the things that are directly influencing who you are choosing to be. The decisions you make and how you are choosing to show up for yourself and others. Challenging, but essential for healing and growing. I also think that living in a social media intense day and age, that can cause a whole lot of pressure to be something you really aren't, or be someone that you really aren't, and to even convince yourself that there is something wrong with not living a certain lifestyle, or enjoying and indulging specific things, or hanging out and having affiliations with specific people that probably like have money or access and power, that it gives you like some sort of an upper hand, which I absolutely do not agree with. That is false. The idea that being authentic won't always work in your favor is not true. That you must tweak who you are as well as how you live and put out a performance to get your hands on accessibility and likability has created a very insecure and low self-esteem people who no longer see the value of being who they are and embracing that wholeheartedly, and who will also just step on anyone and everyone's toes to get what they want. So starting a rumor, lying on somebody's name, buying things that you can't afford so that you show up and you fit in and you are accepted by certain people. And I think the worst thing is when that's not who you really are and that's not what you really want. And here you are putting up a performance. And here you are stepping on other people's toes just to get into the right social circle. You're here, but you aren't really. Also, nothing can fill the void other than truly existing in your life and facing the things that might be gut-wrenching, the parts of you that you need to heal. You're constantly exhausted, mentally and emotionally, because there is no safe space for you. Not in the excessive spending and partying, not in the people that you surround yourself with, not in the lack of boundaries, not even in the silence when you sit with yourself, because you are not really existing as you. And as much as it is a hard pill to swallow, I know it is, you've got to, because that's what you're healing. That's where your healing and growing starts, and that's what starts your healing and growing as well. Showing up as yourself really often means attracting the things that are truly meant for you. You can truly enjoy your life seasons, surrounded by people who are truly for you and with you. So the person who needs to make the changes is you. No one else has that power. And that is always going to maybe blow my mind a bit, that the things that we give power to and the people that we give power to don't actually have them over us. We are in control of our minds. We are in control of how far we choose to take responsibility for our actions, according to what you truly and wholeheartedly want, as well as what you truly need, which is an essential part of growing and being able to discern when you just want to do something or have it or even be it for reasons other than them being what you genuinely want and what will still let you be who you are. Also, please don't get me wrong. You are allowed to like nice things, the soft and comfortable good life, being able to spend money on things you like and that make you feel good, but it should not be at the detriment of your authenticity and staying true to yourself. You can still enjoy the good things, but really, really enjoy them and not enjoy them because everybody else is enjoying them. You don't have to like everything. Very important. I want to emphasize that you do not have to like everything. You don't have to like jumping onto trends. You most certainly do not have to pretend that you like makeup or verbiage or flowers. Not everybody does. And it's so weird whenever people make it seem like it is a requirement for people to like certain things. Also, the comfortable, soft lifestyle, it looks different for everybody. Everybody has a different definition for it. Do not impose your definition or understanding of it onto other people, and please don't let other people impose their definition of it onto you. As long as you're staying true to who you are, as long as you're living an authentic life, as long as you are comfortable, that's what is important. You don't have to like partying. You don't have to have a flat stomach. You do not have to have a 5-step morning and night skincare routine. You don't have to like lighting scented candles at the end of a long day. You don't have to like scented candles at all. You don't have to want to wear expensive wigs and scents. And again, there is nothing wrong with genuinely enjoying those things, like really, really actually enjoying them, but only because you really do, and not to fit in or be likable to certain circles of people. It's really, really good. It gives your confidence the biggest boost to be in a good outfit with nice shoes and a face that looks incredible and hair that looks really, really good, and to smell good. I love those things. I really enjoy it, but it's not because I want to fit in. It's because I genuinely do enjoy it, and there are many other people in the world that are just like me. So getting into debt to sustain a lifestyle you cannot afford, having to lie about who you are and what you really like, is not being authentic and staying true to yourself. It is building an endless pile of emptiness, heartbreak, and constantly trying to fill a void or multiple voids that cannot be closed by material, status, access, and power. Also, want to make a disclaimer. I believe that money can fix a lot of things. I believe that with money you can go to therapy. I believe that with money you can go to a resort where you can rest and, you can make sure to take time out. If you're somebody that's busy and you don't really have time to take a break, you can switch your phone off, your laptop off, and you can just breathe for a little bit. Money can do a lot of things for us, right? But also, if you are going to take your money and think that your money is going to close the voids and you're not doing the actual work that you need to do, then you are wrong. Then you need to reevaluate what you are doing. Money can definitely take you to therapy and it can help you sort your problems out. But if you are going to think that buying multiple things all the time, or going to multiple places, drinking, just like not actually taking care of yourself and not actually using your money to improve yourself, then your money's not actually going to help you with much. It really isn't. That's my truth. That's how I see it. Money can make a lot of things go away. It really, really can. It 100% has the ability to do so, and use it to help you in ways that will improve you and in ways that will go beyond the material, the status, the access, and the power. I also believe that when we fail to live authentically and stay true to who you are, or to who we are, we lose out on moments of having genuine connections. Or we may end up having the opportunity to have genuine connections, but we wouldn't know how to show up in them. The superficial, surface level, and fake does not function in an environment where you need to be authentic, where you are meant to have authentic conversations and surround yourself with an overall authenticity. You are going to have many encounters with places, things, and people who you do not connect with, and you need to leave it at just that. Please do not initiate relationships or connections with people or things that you do not align with and that do not align with you. It is not some miraculous opportunity to prove yourself to anyone or to make yourself more likable. Just be you, and those that you are meant to be around, the things, the people, you will freely be able to do so. You'll know because you would be at genuine peace, completely showing up as who you are, the glowing and thriving you who is genuinely comfortable in their skin and surroundings. And it can take a lot. It can be very uncomfortable, especially if it is not something you have always been doing. If it is something you need to teach yourself right now, but it's important that you start doing it, and it doesn't mean it's impossible. You just have to choose to make an effort to be true to yourself in the small ways and the big ones. You don't like going to a specific club, or you hate clubbing, period, but your friends do, stop going and let them know that it just isn't your vibe anymore. You hate gossiping, but you do it anyways because it makes you fit in. Stop. You're talking about other people, laughing at them, bringing out personal matters that somebody might have told you in confidence just to get an upper hand with certain people. You're doing that. But it's not actually something that you want to be doing, but you're doing it. You need to reevaluate what you are doing. You need to look into where the value is in things. Like, if you are somebody that just doesn't enjoy gossiping, but you do it, stop. Don't do it anymore. You dress a specific way because it's trendy and everyone else is doing it to impress certain people. But you actually just want to be in comfortable clothing. And literally 80% of the time that's what you want. But you aren't able to show up in that way because you want to impress everyone around you. Reevaluate that. Look into a different approach. Do it a different way, in a way that's going to be good for you. And that's going to be comfortable for you overall. And in a way that you'll be able to stay true to who you are. And you will be authentic. That's going to attract the right things into your life and the right people into your life. And this is where I would like to end today's episode, and also just remind everyone that we are different people. Again, we are not the same. We don't have to be. There is no need to ever feel like you are not enough, you are less of a person, or you are not worthy of fitting in because of you are yourself. That's not the place you're meant to be fitting into. And don't not show up as your true self because of you are afraid that people are not going to accept you, or they're not going to be comfortable with having you around them. That's all we have to do, really. Stay committed to who we are and work on becoming even better versions of ourselves. Thank you so much for taking the time again to listen to this podcast. I'm really happy that you have listened to the very end. I really appreciate the support that you give this podcast. Please, please, please don't forget that this podcast is on Anchor, Apple Podcasts, Spotify, Google Podcast, and Amazon Music. So please do let as many people know that they have all of those places to listen to the podcast on, and they should most definitely do so. Please share it as far and wide as you possibly can. I'm really wishing everyone a good rest of the week. I hope you take good care of yourself. I hope that you prioritize showing up as yourself and being as true as you can to you, and staying as authentic as possible in the small ways and in the big ways. I'm really looking forward to seeing everyone in next week's episode. I say seeing, but I don't think that that's right. So I'm looking forward to having everyone listen to next week's episode. Have a lovely rest of the day, and please don't forget to keep doing the things that fill your cup up.